would like to share.
Yeah. I need to give back where I can and get out of here, and this is basically where she is in Singapore. This is basically the Broadway.
It's not like 5 conversations can change the world. And, mental health is one conversation. Sadly, we haven't had enough of over the years.
Yeah, so true. I agree. And as I say all the time, when we stay silent, people die.
That's right.
Because they think that they're the only ones. I felt like this before I got.
Absolutely. And even in the department,
it's only me. Nobody's going to understand. They're going to think I'm crazy. All
bubbles up, and then
that were not true. When I reached out for help, I had like an abundance of support and love around me. And there are so many programs to help people. Many of them are free. To get support and help. So Ellen, we'll definitely talk further.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I was.
One thing I want to say though is that for all my children, they were very forward-minded when it came to specific topics that were still a little taboo.
Ahead of the time.
Oh yeah. Like we were like, how the Golden Girls were ahead of their time. Okay, all my children was ahead of their time too. No, they really were. Like
the show started with the Vietnam War.
This was crazy because you have the first gay teacher. This was not normal in 1995 or 96. Okay, this was considered taboo still. Okay, you weren't allowed to do that. You don't have the first. We were the first Latino family on daytime television. Like,
and you had my character's former pornographic pictures being discovered online.
Exactly. So we had a lot of difference. And then unmarried women like, Kelsey Jefferson, who was pregnant and is trying to steal a baby, and you're talking about abortions and these. We had a lot of topics that were not just taboo, they were like shifty grounds that you would not necessarily.
Oh yeah. And the gay.
I'm surprised that networks would say okay to that, but I'm happy that we were able to handle those topics, and I'm happy that we were
making Erica Kane's daughter a lesbian. I mean, Agnes Nixon.
Really. With an eating disorder as well. With an eating disorder.
Right.
Yeah. Catherine,
and to have it well written now too. You
don't always get that. Yeah.
Exactly.
No, and then even though it's a little bit, it becomes salacious. There is a moral to the story at the end of it, and you can reach out to people in certain ways. And people can. You'd be so surprised even today. That's why we're here today. The loyalty of the fans. People can reach out, and we understand. We miss you guys. We love you. We love the fans. We're very excited. The loyalty of that, and just coming into your TV every day at 1:00 Eastern Standard Time.
It's not like 5 a.m. Singapore time.
And it's so amazing. It's amazing that something that so many people dismiss as trivial, a soap opera, can address and have a positive impact on such important topics. And I love, TC, that you mentioned the charity events we used to do.
Oh, yeah.
That was, honestly, one of my favorite, if not my favorite part of being on the show, because fans would come to these events. And it was like, oh my goodness, we can make a difference for a good cause just by showing up. It's just an incredible opportunity, and I love that shared vision. I remember, Carrie, when State of Slay was just getting started, and that being something, recovery, mental health, that being something that we kind of bonded over, and something that I speak about too. And a lot of that really came to the forefront through my time on All My Children. So it's
we had a great platform.
I'm just really glad that you and Alan, you as well, are using platform to help break those taboos and get people talking. Yeah.
Well, I haven't done a show on that, but I think that subject is important.
You want to, and you
yes, I do. I did work a couple years ago, about 8 years ago, as a Lifeline counselor for the Trevor Project.
Oh wow!
So answering calls from people struggling, and
that's intense.
intense. Catherine, you are going to do the Glass Menagerie. Do you want to tell fans about that?
Yes.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I vote yes on the committee of one. Well, the committee of what? Five. We're five. Yes, I'm so excited. Yes, it's actually gonna be. I'm gonna be starring in the Glass Menagerie as Amanda Wingfield. The Tennessee Williams production. I play Amanda Wingfield. But you'll have to stay tuned because tickets go on sale mid-Jan. You can go on to the website, and I will keep you posted. But until we get our publicity and advertisement set, then we start to sell the tickets. Obviously, that's how it works, guys.
So
I just went to my photo shoot. Yes.
I want to
Yes, yes,
explain one thing, Catherine, because you're in Singapore, so you have to kind of build the picture. This is basically where she's in Singapore. This is basically the Broadway of Singapore. It's the biggest, most prestigious theater around, and she's got the starring role. And I'm coming out to see it.
That's awesome.
And so it's because she's in Singapore, it's sort of like, where do you buy the tickets? There's not many people that can go buy the tickets.
I get your house seats, honey. Don't worry. Of course, I know some people who owe me a couple favors.
Good. One of our fans, Marilyn, on our conversation about mental health, said the pandemic was a trigger for my anxiety and depression, and I talked about it in case it can help someone else.
Oh, good. It was. It was for me. It was for me too. I have to say that I had some really dark days especially during lockdown. That I hadn't experienced in many, many years. And, now I have tools, that I didn't have before. So I had to really dig deep into my toolbox and go, okay, I need to get back to basics and do those things that make me feel good. I need to reach out to people.
Yes.
Let them know how I'm feeling. I need to give back where I can and get out of here, and talk about it, because more people are going to understand and relate to that than not. And you don't know until you say
100%.
something. Yeah.
So true. I have to say real quick, Alan, did you say Marilyn was her name?
Yes.
So one, thank you, Marilyn, and two, Carrie, as you were saying that, I think it's really easy for people sometimes to think that I don't have a platform. Well, that's great. Carrie Denzel has a platform. Alan, these actors, these people, everybody, you have a bigger sphere of influence than you think. And if everyone would open that dialogue and get those conversations started, we all could have a massive impact. So I just want to encourage everybody. There are more people who understand you than you realize, and there are more people that could use your help than you realize.
Well said. Before I forget, was there anybody else who had something they wanted to promote? Because I want to make
I know
sure.
that TC has a couple of things that she would like to share.
So we
The man who thought he was Salvatore Dali.
the man who thought
And
that
I have a quickie. I have a quickie after TC.
Yeah, and Lauren, I'm going to end before I sign off with your 1-minute recap of Laura Kirk English.
Okay.
Wait, what did
I love it.
he just say?
we're
11:16.
tying up the finishing
He was
Classic
like,
stuff. Impact. So I just want to encourage everybody. There are more people who understand you than you realize, and there are more people that could use your help than you realize. So.
well said. Before I forget, was there anybody else who had
Hello to
something
the
they
replay
wanted
viewers.
to promote? Because I want to
I know that TC has
Hello
a
to the
couple of things
viewers.
that she would like to share.
So
Listeners.
The man who thought he was Salvatore Dali.
the man who thought
And
that
I have a quickie. I have a
Okay.
quickie after TC.
Yeah, and Lauren, I'm going to end before I sign off with your 1-minute recap of Laura Kirk English.
Okay.
Because I love it.
We're tying up the finishing of The Man Who Thought That He Was Salvador Dali, and that's with Philippe Mora. You guys can go, a very well-known director. And we're finishing that, and I'm auditioning, and I've actually got an audition
Zoom.
after this, right?
Yeah.
And
Everybody's
so,
doing
so
it on Zoom.
that's what's going on. I can't. Yeah.
She is an incredible mother
Oh.
of two beautiful
What about
children.
on Zoom? My ADD is bad today.
And Lauren, we'll come to you in a second. Carrie,
And there are more people that could use your help than you realize.
well,
Absolutely.
On one episode,
Wait, what did she say about Zoom? 10 what? 10?
A very well-known director, and we're finishing that, and I'm auditioning, and I've actually got an
on
audition
Zoom.
after this, right?
Yeah.
And
Everybody's
so,
doing
so
it on
that's
Zoom.
that's what's going on. I can't. Yeah.
She is an incredible mother
Oh.
of two beautiful children.
See, I-
will say that.
Oh,
And Lauren, we'll come to you in a second. Carrie, one of our fans, can you just share?
so well,
The man who thought he was Salvatore Dali.
the man who thought
and
that
I
he was
have a
Salvador Dali.
quickie. I have a
Okay.
quickie after teaching.
Yeah, and Lauren, I'm going to end before I sign off with your 1-minute recap of Laura Kirk English,
Okay.
because I love it.
We're tying up the finishing of The Man Who Thought That He Was Salvador Dali, and that's with Philippe Mora. You guys can go, a very well-known director, and we're finishing that, and I'm auditioning, and I've actually got an
On
audition
Zoom.
after this, right?
Yeah.
And
Everybody's
so,
doing
so
it on Zoom.
that's what's going on. I can't. Yeah.
She is an incredible mother
Oh.
of two beautiful children. I will say that.
Oh.
And Lauren, we'll come to you in a second. Carrie, one of our fans, can you just share your memories of Supernatural?
Oh my gosh, I have so many memories of
You have so
Supernatural.
much work. I don't even know. I kept looking on you. You have so much work that I can't even. I can't. keep up with
My
everything.
friend executive produced and wrote it, but I don't think during your time there.
Oh, yeah, gosh, I was in the first season, and then I came back 10 years later from the dead and played another character.
Yeah, he was later. He was
Classic
like
soap.
5
Totally like a soap opera. Listen, for fans of Supernatural, they're like so fans, man. They are loyal and excited. One of the episodes, which is a fan favorite, just aired right before we went on air. So, it's a show where, and again, to tie into mental health, it's a show where Jared Padalecki, who's one of the leads on the show, is very open about his struggles with mental health, and so definitely that fan base is a fan base that gravitates towards that kind of healing and talk, and so that's really exciting. But there's way too much to even go into with Supernatural.
Yeah.
Wrap it up. But I will say I do have a few things coming up, and I'll end it with that. And I need to put my glasses on because I'm not going to be able to read what I jotted down. But I am going to be at an event in May in Peachtree City, Georgia. Called the Camp, and it's a fan event, and so there's like photo ops and autographs, and there's all kinds of fun activities, and you can actually book a dinner. We're doing like a dinner with me to talk about real stuff, this stuff. And so it's 1 hour dinner with me. Tickets are on the website, thecampevents.com. I will do a post on my social media as well, just so it's there. And that's May 28th and 29th. I'm also recurring on the 4th season of Sistas, which the 4th season starts airing in
Tyler
January.
Perry. Right?
Tyler Perry. And I was on this past season 3. And girls, you want to talk about crazy work schedules?
Oh gosh.
Look, are nothing compared to Tyler Perry. You do over 100 pages a day. There is no rehearsal, no nothing. What you see on air is the first time anybody has
Wow.
seen anything on set. And he doesn't
That's next
cut.
level.
If there's I did
Thank God we got to have a good training ground, right?
I know. I did 2 episodes that were all in the same set, and he ran it like one scene.
Wow.
And
Crazy.
2 whole episodes.
That's
Supernatural convention in
Sorry, are we
Arlington,
still here?
Virginia, which is a creation convention, and that is August 12th through 14th. And they're doing a free screening on Friday the 12th of Just My Imagination, which is the episode that aired today. So you don't have to have admission tickets. You can come for free and watch the show with me and Nate Torrance, who played Sully, August 12th, which is a Friday in Arlington, Virginia. I think I got it all. Okay, thank you.
It is so hard.
One last thing for Glass Menagerie. The tickets go on sale mid-January. You can go to pangdemonium.com. Pangdemonium, it's kind of a play on words. Adrian Pang, who worked in the West End
Sorry. I'm
on Broadway. It's kind of a cheeky little play on words, but pangdemonium.com. Tickets will go on sale, I believe, mid-January. It's at the Victoria Theatre in Singapore, and it will be from March 11th to 27th. So if you feel like traveling, it's actually a very safe place to travel, and Singapore is extremely clean, efficient, and a beautiful place to visit. So I suggest if you want to come out and see me, I'll be playing Amanda Wingfield
You've got room at the house. Stay over.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, she does. Come
Come
on.
on, come on, hold on, wait a minute.
She'll host everybody.
That's right.
And Lauren, like Carrie with Supernatural, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, just as, the fans, I was a big Buffy. She'll
And girls, you want to talk about crazy work schedules?
Oh, gosh.
Look, are nothing compared to Tyler Perry. You do over 100 pages a day. There's no rehearsal, no nothing. What you see on air is the first time anybody has
Wow.
seen anything on set. And he doesn't
That's next
cut.
level.
If there's, I did two.
Thank God we have a good training ground, right?
I know. I did 2 episodes that were all in the same set, and he ran it like one scene.
Wow.
Okay,
Crazy.
2 whole episodes.
That's amazing.
Thank God for soaps. Anyway, so Sister starts airing in January on V.
maybe I need
just as, the fans,
maybe I need more caffeine.
In
Tyler
January.
Perry. Right?
Tyler Perry. And I was on this past season 3. And girls, you want to talk about crazy work schedules?
Oh,
So-
gosh.
Look, are nothing compared to Tyler Perry. You do over 100 pages a day. There is no rehearsal, no nothing. What you see on air is the first time anybody has
Wow.
seen anything on set. And he doesn't
That's next
cut.
level.
If there's, I did
Thank
2.
God we have a good training ground, right?
I know. I did 2 episodes that were all in the same set, and he ran it like one scene.
Wow.
Okay,
Crazy.
2 whole episodes.
That's
So-
amazing.
Why is it saying awaiting first stream?
Anyway, so Sister starts airing in January on BET, and then in August 12th through 14th, I will be at a Supernatural convention in Arlington, Virginia, which is a creation convention, and that is August 12th through 14th.
3
And they're
viewers.
doing a free
Does that include me?
screening on Friday the 12th of
Why don't
My
I hear
Imagination,
anything?
which is the episode that aired today. So you don't have to have admission tickets. You can come for free and watch the show with me and Nate Torrance, who played Sully, August 12th, which is a Friday in Arlington, Virginia. I think I got it all. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
It is so hard for
One last thing for Glass Menagerie. The tickets go on sale mid-January. You can go to pangdemonium.com. Pangdemonium, it's kind of a play on words. Adrian Pang, who worked in the West End on Broadway, it's kind of a cheeky little play on words, but pangdemonium.com. Tickets will go on sale, I believe, mid-January. It's at the Victoria Theatre in Singapore. It will be from March 11th to 27th. So if you feel like traveling, it's actually a very safe place to travel, and Singapore is extremely clean, efficient, and a beautiful place to visit. So I suggest if you want to come out and see me, I'll be playing Amanda Wingfield
You've got room at the house. Stay over.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, she does. Come
Come on,
on.
come on! Hold on, wait a minute!
She'll host everybody.
That's right.
And Lauren, like Carrie with Supernatural, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, just as, the fans, I was a big Buffy.
Sorry, if you click on it, it goes to a different. It opens Chrome and pauses the
So the
feed.
fans are,
Yeah.
Justice Rabbit.
It is a trip because events that I speak for, like there will be, a middle-aged couple that, like both the husband and the wife were like huge Buffy fans, and they want a picture. And then when I speak for youth, there are kids who just think it's the most amazing thing. Like they care more that I was on one episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer than for 3 years. And I'm like, hey, that makes you think I'm cool, so you'll listen to what I have to say, rock and roll. But part of the reason, and that's really cool, Carrie, I have family in Peachtree City. Like, I had no idea that you were going to be in the Atlanta
You got
area.
your peaches down in Georgia.
Indeed, and it is true, they are the best. But part of the reason for my
Okay.
kind of cocoon,
There's 5 minutes
past
left, and
year-
clearly I said my ADD is bad because I keep replaying things.
Well, it's hard to.
but part of the reason, and that's really cool, Carrie, I have family in Peachtree City. Like, I had no idea.
For Glass Menagerie, the tickets go on sale mid-January. You can go to pangdemonium.com. Pangdemonium, it's kind of a play on words. Adrian Pang, who worked in the West End on Broadway, it's kind of a cheeky little play on words, but pangdemonium.com. Tickets will go on sale, I believe, mid-January. It's at the Victoria Theatre in Singapore, and it will be from March 11th to 27th. So if you feel like traveling, it's actually a very safe place to travel, and Singapore's extremely clean, efficient, and a beautiful place to visit. So I suggest if you want to come out and see me, I'll be playing Amanda Wingfield as.
You've got room at the house.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she does.
Come on in! Hold on, wait a minute.
She'll host everybody.
That's right.
And Lauren, like Carrie with Supernatural, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, just as, the fans, I was a big Buffy, so the fans are
Yeah. Well,
Justice Rabbit.
It is a trip because events that I speak for, like there will be, a middle-aged couple that, like both the husband and the wife were like huge Buffy fans, and they want a picture. And then when I speak for youth, there are kids who just think it's the most amazing thing. Like they care more that I was on one episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer than for 3 years. And I'm like, hey, that makes you think I'm cool, so you'll listen to what I have to say, rock and roll. But part of the reason, and that's really cool, Carrie, I have family in Peachtree City. Like, I had no idea that you were going to be in the Atlanta
You got your
area.
peaches down in Georgia.
Indeed, and it is true, they are the best. But part of the reason for my kind of cocoon the past year, a few different reasons, but part was finishing a children's book, which amusingly is very in keeping with our theme. It's called Think Good, Be Good, and about taking thoughts captive. Just because something, like Carrie, you were saying, dipping into the toolbox, just because a thought pops into our head doesn't mean we have to keep thinking that, and we don't have to continue going down that path. And I feel like if we can help kids grasp that at an early age, that would go a long
Like a negative
way.
spiral, the negative spiral goes.
Absolutely. So
We all have that. I think everybody does.
absolutely. When I
Everybody
shared
does.
it,
Like this negative spiral that goes down the drain, and you're like, well, it's hard to catch up.
yeah,
I think we all suffer from this. COVID's taught us a lot too. I think we've all been suffering in different ways and things.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a very good tool to remember and to be cognizant
when I
of.
shared it at women's events, it's funny that you say that, Catherine, because like moms and grandmas are like, yes, I want that. Like, when will it be available? I mean, I want it for myself. Like, I want it for my kids too. But like, they all need exactly.
I need it for
So-
myself. No.
I'm still working out the publishing situation, so I'm not sure yet exactly when it will be available.
Get in touch with me privately, okay? Because we can get in touch with you. Get in touch with me privately. I'll handle it.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
I publish with a printing and publishing company. We've done plenty of books. Yes,
See,
so please.
see, Ellen, how you bring
See? I love that. I love that.
All my children.
Guys, you have to listen to Lauren's 1-minute recap of her character. It is was hysterical. Lauren,
Yeah, it's a fantastic icebreaker when I speak. So here we go. My little piece of AMC history, 3-year arc in 60 seconds. Okay. I was a homeless teenage orphan who ran away to Pine Valley for a better life, got adopted by Brooke English, survived a fire, appendicitis, and a kidnapping, all separate occasions, learned to read, dated Scott Chandler, the richest hottest guy in town, volunteered at a youth center until compromising photos from my past turned up online, which I had taken at the tender age of 15, only to earn money to pay for my mom's tuberculosis medication. But I was so ashamed, I set fire to the photos in the basement of our building, and tragically the building burned down, and my mom was too sick to escape. So all this time I was racked with guilt over being responsible for my own mother's death. Then Jim, the guy who took the photos, turned up in Pine Valley, conned Brooke into falling in love with him, so I had to confess to her everything that had happened, and as any loving, protective mother would do, she sent me to China to live with some friends and shot Jim in cold blood.
Rosa Santos. Wait. Hold on, I gotta do it. Hold on, if I can. I haven't written it down.
Just so you know.
oh, did you have one? You had one too?
No, but I'm just gonna think of it. Sister goes into the witness protection program. Other sister dies in a plane crash. Father dies in a drunk driving accident. Other sister leaves for Chicago, never to be seen again. I never was killed off. I just went upstairs to get coffee and never came back.
That's the best part.
The coffee smell like way to be rude. So
You're still
I
upstairs.
don't have one, but I'm like thinking.
See you girls.
Witness protection program, plane crash.
Yeah, Rosa's still upstairs going, the guy who took the photos turned up in Pine Valley, conned Brooke into falling in love with him, so I had to confess to her everything that had happened, and as any loving, protective mother would do, she sent me to China to live with some friends and shot Jim in cold blood.
It wouldn't go back less than that.
Rosa Santos. Wait. Hold on, I gotta do it. Hold on, if I can. I haven't written it down.
Just so you know.
Oh, did you have one? You had one too?
No, but I'm just gonna think of it. Sister goes into the witness protection program. Other sister dies in a plane crash. Father dies in a drunk driving accident. Other sister leaves for Chicago, never to be seen again. I never was killed off. I just went upstairs to get coffee and never came back.
That's the best part of
the
shows.
coffee smell like way to be rude. So
You're still
I
upstairs.
don't have one, but I'm like thinking to myself, witness protection program, plane crash.
Yeah, Rosa's still upstairs going, oh wait, the show got canceled? Rude?
Ladies, thank you so much for spending this hour. Now it's breakfast time. Catherine, it's time for breakfast, and it's time for dinner. It's time for dinner.
As a matter of fact, I actually have to go in an hour because I'm helping a friend out who ended up going to USA. So I'm going to help a friend out and go check on her house for her because we want to make sure that her house is okay.
Good.
That's important.
But ladies, stay well.
Thank you so much, Alan. Wonderful. Thank you so much for having us.
See y'all.
Good to see you girls.
You're so welcome. Bye, everybody.
Love you guys. Miss you, Gary. Miss you, TC.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much to Catherine, Carrie, Lauren, and TC for spending time here today. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel down below. Turn on the notifications for reminders of all upcoming shows. Tomorrow, Friday, December 10th, please tune in to see Guiding Light's Wendy Moniz, who is currently starring on Yellowstone. Have a great night, everybody, and stay safe.
All right.
For breakfast, and it's time for dinner. It's time for dinner.
As a matter of fact, I actually have to go in. As a matter of fact, I actually have to go in an hour because I'm helping a friend.
There's
out
no like
who ended
30
up going to
seconds
USA,
ahead.
So I'm going to help a friend out and go check on her house for her because we want to make sure that her house is okay.
Let me turn it the other way and see if there's a 20.
But ladies, stay well.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Alan.
guys.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for having us.
See y'all.
Good to see you girls.
You're so welcome. Bye, everybody.
Love you guys. Miss you, Gary. Miss you, TC.
I'm going to go back to
Bye,
the
guys.
first
Thank
minute
you
that I
so
didn't
much
hear.
To Catherine, Carrie, Lauren, and TC for spending time here today. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel down below. Turn on the notifications for reminders of all upcoming shows. Tomorrow, Friday, December 10th, please tune in to see Guiding Lights Wendy Moniz, who is currently starring on Yellowstone. Have a great night, everybody, and stay safe.
All right. So
Doing a Broadway tour. Fans that we've always been, they're so loyal. So I would do anything. I'd get up at any hour. I could be on Mars and get up.
They are definitely loyal. That is.
now
Hi,
we're,
everybody. Thanks so much for joining me today in the locker room. I'm Alan Locker. A good friend of mine and a good friend of these ladies who covered the soap industry for many, many years, Stephen Bergman, helped wrangle these four talented actresses who spent some time causing trouble in Pine Valley over the years. Thank you, Stephen, for putting me in touch with Catherine Gardner, who played Rosa Santos, Carrie Genzel, who played Sky Chandler, Lauren Roman, who played Laura Kirk English, and T.C. Warner, who played Kelsey Jefferson. Let's bring them out here and reminisce about their time working together on All My Children. Please welcome to the locker room, Catherine Gardner, Carrie Genzel, Lauren Roman, and T.C. Warner. Hi, ladies.
Hello.
How are you?
Great.
Excellent.
Great to see you all.
Yeah.
I was going to say I'm going to do this. It's a little better. Catherine is joining us from the future. It's 4 a.m. where she is in Singapore. So we really appreciate you getting up so early to spend some time here today.
My pleasure. I would do anything to come and visit all my friends and all my children friends. I'm so excited to be here. No, anytime there's a reunion, I'm very excited. I love seeing all these wonderful, familiar faces, especially to share as much of the memories, and we can discuss some great things over in the next hour. And I can't wait to share exciting news and talk about everything that we've always, kind of laugh about and stuff, and share things with the fans that we've always been. They're so loyal. So I would do anything. I'd get up at any hour.
okay. I'm going to unmute GMA3. You can listen to the rest of it with me if you want.
Diabetes. 40% of people with type 2 diabetes will develop chronic kidney disease.
Oh, and for
or
people that were
CKD.
listening and
Did
can't
you
read the
know
chat,
CKD
that was
leads
the
to
local
kidney
room on
failure and
YouTube.
dialysis?
LOCHER.
CKD often has no symptoms until it's too late. Help protect your kidneys. Call your doctor for a UACR test. It shows one of the earliest signs for CKD. Visit kidneyalert.com.
Hey, it's me, your dry skin. I'm craving something we're missing. The ceramides and CeraVe.
Alright, I'm going to try on my phone to get that swag that I couldn't log in on my computer.
CeraVe, developed with dermatologists.
No one can deliver your mom's homemade short ribs. That's why Instacart helps deliver the ingredients. And you add the love.
It's only a matter of time until your check engine light comes on, or worse yet, your car needs repair. That could mean a big surprise auto repair bill. That's why it's so important you call CarShield today.
I was elated that I had CarShield. I was more than happy.
It's no fun when you have a car and it's broken and you can't pay for it to get it fixed.
So, if your vehicle has 5,000 to 150,000 miles, just tell us the make and model of your car or truck and get an instant plan quote. In a matter of minutes, you can be covered.
My experience with CarShield is that they absolutely come through every time I need them.
If my car breaks down, I can count on CarShield to cover it for me. CarShield definitely has my back.
How many
Now it's the
viewers?
time to make the smart choice and protect yourself from sky-high auto repair
5.
bills. Call now for a free and instant protection plan quote. It's only a matter of time until
Twitter's
repairs
still
are
not
needed,
working.
and once your car breaks down, it's too late. Call 1-800-742-3212
Google Pay unlock these holiday offers.
CarShield.com. Get covered today.
Frequent heartburn? Not anymore. The Prilosec OTC 2-week challenge is helping people love what they love again. Just 1 pill a day, 24 hours, 0 heartburn. Because life starts when heartburn stops. Take the challenge at PrilosecOTC.com.
Want more from your vitamins? At Nature's Bounty, we give you more. More immune support with the only vitamin C that lasts 24 hours. More restful sleep.
I'm gonna check my caviar
Triple
offer.
action sleep supplement. We put more of our brains into helping your heart.
25% off.
Wellness solutions
Is it only for
backed by
delivery? Is it
rigorous
also
science
for
than you
pickup?
ever
Let me
have
look.
before. Nature's Bounty gives you more, so you can live
Through today,
bountifully.
up to $10 off. Pickup and delivery orders only. So let me go. Last chance to get $15 off at Petco or Pet Gifts. Alright, now I'm looking for the AWS swag that's supposed to expire today or tomorrow.
I'm Dr. Addison Montgomery. You'll be coming with me. Feels like the old days.
Finally.
I'm scared to say yes.
It's gonna be a hell of a ride.
Yes, all the yeses.
Something big is going on.
I can feel it.
This is getting messy.
See why they call it Big Sky? It's a whole vibe.
Big Sky, new tonight on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Welcome back to GMA3. We want to turn now to the top drummer for one of the most popular bands of all time, turning a tragedy into an opportunity and helping veterans along the way. ABC's Phil Lipoff now with Def Leppard's Rick Allen.
For more than 40 years, Rick Allen has been the drummer of one of the best-selling rock bands of all time, with mega hits like Pour Some Sugar on It. And he's done it with just one arm, a remarkable story that began in the 80s. Rick joined Def Leppard when he was just 15. By the time he was 21, the band was a huge success. And then
You buy Corvette.
Yeah.
New Year's Eve 1984 would change the course of Rick's life. The crash happened fast. It was a violent rollover.
As the car rolled, the seatbelt came undone, and the seatbelt took my arm as I was flying out through the car.
His right shoulder broken, his left arm gone. But from his hospital bed, Rick vowed to drum again. With new technology and the band's support, he did just that. Def Leppard went on recording and touring.
So this is where it all happened.
Today, with the pandemic putting the band on pause, we visited Rick and his wife Lauren at their California home. Rick shows us that technology and these foot pedals that allow him to sound like he did before the crash.
The foot pedals sort of mimic what your left arm would do.
Absolutely what it does.
Playing, Rick says, is almost a meditative experience that he is all too happy to share. Another passion for the rock star is painting. There are big, majestic pieces, other rock stars, and smaller, more personal paintings like this one of his daughter. Rick sometimes uses his only hand as a signature.
I nearly lost this one as well. So for me, it's just a reminder of everything that I went through.
Rick's art sold at Whitworth Gallery, owned by Christian O'Mahony, who who tells us, depending on the size of the piece, collectors are spending tens of thousands of dollars. Rick began donating some of that money to wounded warriors after a visit to Walter Reed Medical Center in 2006, where he met Norby Lara, a U.S. Army veteran who lost his arm in Iraq.
It was really cool to be around someone who had been through something very similar to myself, losing an arm, and still being able to smile.
And Rick's wife, Lauren, is a big reason for that smile. Married almost 20 years, Lauren is a singer, a songwriter, and a teacher.
Yeah, that was great.
Together, they run the nonprofit Raven Drum Foundation, a focus on veterans with head trauma and PTSD, both Rick still grapples with.
When I met Rick, he didn't know he had PTSD. and that was something he was really struggling with. You know, it's something that we work on all the time to help build his resiliency.
That resiliency on full display when Def Leppard was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
He survived it and came out the other side stronger.
A minute-long standing ovation by rock royalty. Lauren and the crowd, both overwhelmed by emotion.
If you could go back into that hospital room and tell the 21-year-old version of yourself one thing that would help him get through the rest of the hospital stay, what would it be?
Yeah.
Your heart. One thing people tell me who know you that they admire about you most is your heart, your spirit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All these years later, Rick is still healing, still working through the pain and emotion of the crash and all that followed.
If you were given the chance to go back and not have that happen, would you?
That's a really good question. In many ways, I think enabled me to grow in so many ways. It became a blessing, a responsibility to, to other people, to myself. And I think that has become a huge gift.
Phil Lipoff, ABC News, California.
And certainly our thanks to Phil for that. And just ahead here on GMA3 on this Thursday, we are welcoming back to GMA3 9-time Grammy winner Norah Jones because she has a first in her career. We'll tell you all about that and a special performance. Stay with us here, folks, on GMA3. We are right back.
What can I do with less asthma? With Dupixent, I can do more garden work, teamwork, long walks.
Game on!
That's how you do more with Dupixent, which helps prevent asthma attacks. Dupixent's not for sudden breathing problems. It's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma that can improve lung function with better breathing. In as little as 2 weeks, it can reduce or even eliminate oral steroids. And here's something important. Dupixent can cause serious allergic reactions, including anaphylaxis. Get help right away if you have rash, shortness of breath, chest pain, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection, and don't change or stop your asthma treatments, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Are you ready to do more with less asthma? Just ask your asthma specialist about Dupixent.
Ho, ho, ho.
It's Santa. We got a problem.
Do you struggle with occasional nerve aches in your hands or feet? Try Nervive Nerve Relief from the world's #1 selling nerve care company. Nervive contains alpha-lipoic acid to relieve occasional nerve aches, weakness, and discomfort. Try Nervive Nerve Relief.
No one can deliver your mom's homemade short ribs. That's why Instacart helps deliver the ingredients. And you add love.
Plus of immune support that's more than just vitamin C. It's a unique crafted blend with zinc and other vitamins, minerals, and herbs. Seize today with Airborne, the #1 immune support gummy and effervescent brand. With age comes more. Get more with Neutrogena Retinol Pro Plus, a powerful 0.5% retinol that's also gentle on skin for wrinkle results in 1 week. Neutrogena for people with skin. Dunkin' is here with your holiday helpers. Peppermint mocha and toasted white chocolate signature lattes. A touch of delicious holiday magic to help you seize the season. And sip through the holidays with signature lattes at Dunkin'. America runs on Dunkin'.
The airport can be a real challenge for new homeowners who have become their parents. Okay, everybody, let's do a ticket check. Paper tickets. We're off to a horrible start, but we can overcome it. We're not going to point out our houses, landmarks, or major highways during takeoff.
Don't buy anything. I packed so many delicious snacks. They're...
Nope.
Using ballpark when Group 2 is going to get boarded.
2 hours and 58 minutes.
Progressive can't protect you from becoming your parents, but we can protect your home and auto when you bundle with us.
Someone should have left home earlier.
Get your Macy's gifts faster with curbside pickup for the holiday host, in-store pickup for the family room sleepover, or same-day delivery for that last-minute gift. Get just what you need when you need it at Macy's.
Today, women with nighttime urinary incontinence don't have to wake up wet. Wake up dry with the PureWick system, a breakthrough system for managing female urinary incontinence at night.
How'd you sleep? Better, thank you.
It can also reduce trips to the bathroom, which is a known cause of nighttime falls. Now, nighttime falls can be one less thing to lose sleep over.
Simply call 800-946-5174 to order now. Call 800-946-5174.
Tonight,
Are you ready?
the world is full of light. I want to dance.
This holiday season, the most celebrated story of all time arrives. It's just you and me. Forever. West Side Story, rated PG-13, only in theaters Friday.
Why was Alec Baldwin handed a gun with live ammunition?
I was told I was handed an empty gun. Now, hear from people who were right there. She was wearing a sort of silvery, shiny coat, and there was a hole in it. 2020, Friday on ABC.
Always good to come to court when you can't lose.
Judge Steve Harvey premieres January 4th on ABC.
Enjoy the gift of being together. The BinaxNOW COVID-19 antigen self-test has the same technology used by doctors and detects multiple variants. So in just 15 minutes, you can test, know, and go. Available in stores and online.
Am I getting old? My pipes are leaking and my water pressure, well, it isn't what it used to be.
Sounds like you might need to get your pipes replaced.
All at once? That sounds major.
Doesn't have to be. My owner's hired repipe specialists. They usually do the job in a day or two at about half the price of what plumbers usually charge.
And your leaks and water pressure?
Good as new.
There come my owners now.
Quick, slip this card in your mailbox.
Call Repipe Specialists for a free consultation today.
Enjoy the gift of being together. The BinaxNOW COVID-19 antigen self-test has the same technology used by doctors and detects multiple variants. So in just 15 minutes, you can test, know, and go. Available in stores and online.
7-Eleven delivers 24/7 through the 7NOW app.
Left you by the house of fun. I don't know why I didn't come.
Welcome back, everybody. Of course, you know you love. That's 9-time Grammy-winning singer, songwriter, pianist Norah Jones with her 2002 chart-topping hit, Don't Know Why. And now, in time for the holiday. Yes, I said that album 2002. Well, she's out now with her first ever Christmas album. It's called I Dream of Christmas. And let's welcome back to the program, who's going to give us a special performance as well. Norah, it is so good to have you back. You have to tell me, are you a Christmas music over your life? Are you one that keeps Christmas music going in the background as soon as Thanksgiving's over?
Yeah, I love Christmas music. It's so nostalgic. It even sort of kept me happy during the first months of lockdown. We would listen to it on Sundays. So, you know, it's just always there when you need it.
Why now? Why was this the time? You love Christmas music anyway, but look, you've been at it for a while in this industry, and now is the time for a Christmas album. Why?
Well, I got really sad taking my tree down in January this year, and I just needed something to look forward to and something to bring me joy this year because I had no touring or anything. So this kind of felt like the perfect thing to be creative on this year.
Well, the song you have for us today, this was originally sung by Frank Sinatra in '57, the Christmas Waltz. Why? Why this one? I assume this is a favorite of yours.
I love this song. I also love the Peggy Lee version. It's one of my favorites. And we ended up, you know, there's so many Christmas songs to choose from. We couldn't put everything on the album, but we luckily got to record this for Amazon as an Amazon original, which is pretty awesome. So you can check it out on Amazon Music.
Well, I certainly want to let people know that, yes, the Christmas Waltz is available exclusively on Amazon Music, and I Dream of Christmas is available everywhere music is sold and streamed. Nora Jones, it is so good to check in with you. We will check in again to see how it goes with that Christmas tree. But first, folks, without further ado, here she is now with the performance, Nora Jones.
Frosted window panes, candles gleaming inside, painted candy canes on the trees. Santa's on his way, and he's his sleigh with things for you and for me. It's that time of year when the world falls in love, and each song you hear seems to say, Merry Christmas, may your dreams come true. And this song of mine in 3/4 time wishes you and yours the same thing too. Merry Christmas, may your dreams come true.
I'm still trying to go to these booths before tomorrow. How many do I have left?
Song of mine in 3/4 time wishes you and yours the same thing too.
She is so wildly talented.
That voice is lights out.
And so thank you again to her for being back on the program here with us. And yes, she has a Christmas album, first ever.
I'm Jewish. I listened to Christmas music during my workout this morning.
During your workout?
Yes.
Wait, what's playing that can get you hyped for a workout? What Christmas song?
Mariah, among other things.
That's different. Okay, final thoughts today.
Okay, Prescription for Wellness, really focusing on mental health today. So many people dealing with anxiety, as we talk about often. especially exacerbated during the pandemic, during holiday time. So here's my 3 anxiety busters. Number 1, make sure, yes, TJ, again, you get enough sleep and you get some exercise.
Nailed it.
That can actually help with anxiety. Number 2, there are breathing exercises and self-talk that absolutely can help, and psychologists can help you learn these techniques. And lastly, if you are suffering, there is prescription medication of all varieties. If necessary, it can be safe and effective.
For anxiety, I want to kind of, we don't have time to really get into it, but where do you know, or a doctor has to tell you whether or not you reach an anxiety level?
If it is interfering with your day-to-day life. And how about we do a little more on that tomorrow?
Absolutely, sounds good. Dr. Ash and I will be back with you here tomorrow. That's what you need to know for this Thursday. And remember, he is going to space. He just couldn't go today, but launch is scheduled for Saturday.
Getting
so, see you back here tomorrow. Rose
frustrated.
For that, for all of us here at ABC News, folks, you have yourself a good day.
Bye. Not you. I'm still trying. Okay. Does not accept Gmail addresses.
Home and car insurance at geico.com.
Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live. New video shows an officer collapsing after mistaking her gun for her taser, killing a man. How will the jury react to the deadly mistake? Do Christmas classics hold up in today's woke culture? Why some Christmas movies are being canceled for their toxic storylines? When a person of color goes missing, why is there no media frenzy? We're speaking with a woman who is pushing these important cases into the spotlight. She joins us live. And from Real Housewives and Breaking Bad, Kyle Richards and Betsy Brandt stopped by DBL to spread some holiday cheer.
It says 2 best friends, only 1 queen of Christmas, and you're looking at her. How about that?
Oh my gosh.
I would say this is a sham. No.
Stop. Finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Is Thursday, December 9th. I am Sam here with Al, Jeff, and Erica. So I know a lot of our viewers have already written in regard to Josh Duggar because he was found guilty this morning. He was on trial for 2 charges of possessing and receiving child pornography. Feds raided his office at a car dealership back in November and took his computer. His iPhone and MacBook were also taken from an RV. Prosecutors claim they found some images of minors below the age of 12. Josh faces 20 years in jail on each of the 2 charges and a $250,000 fine. Erica, you're shaking your head. What are you thinking?
I think that, there are a lot of people who are culpable when it comes to aiding and abetting this man. He was given a platform. He was amplified. And, it really speaks to me about why so many people stay quiet about especially their acute childhood trauma. Survivors speak up and they're vilified. When children speak up, they're told that they don't understand what they're saying.
Yep.
Children understand what they're saying. And it really bothers me a lot because so many people are so vocal about making sure that this population who has been traumatized and preyed upon aren't heard. The reason why people feel this way, and I know I'm going to offend some people, that's very intentional because I'm talking to you. When you have people in your own families, it's very difficult to say, this is wrong and we need to help protect our most vulnerable population. When you know that your dad, your grandfather, your uncle, your little boyfriend, even your sister, whoever it is doing this in your own home. Yeah, it is really hard. I understand that I've touched a nerve, but these children are our most vulnerable population. They need to be protected. And if you aren't going to do that protection, then get out of the way of those who are. This should have been stopped years ago.
15 years.
How many victims would not be victims had anyone spoken up and said, there is something that's not right here. You see something, you say something. How do you look at a 5-year-old?
Thank you.
A 5-year-old and know that someone is preying on them, and you can tell because they are displaying the behavior. If your 5-year-old is displaying overtly sexual behavior, you need to be asking questions. Where did you learn this?
Right. I am so, it's the craziest thing to me. And I just want to provide context because what Erica's saying, to those of you who think he's just being convicted or charged on these child pornography charges, what Erica is alluding to, or clearly speaking to, thank you for that, Erica, is way back in 2002, 2003. If you look at 2015 police reports, which I did when I covered this way back with CNN, there are details, confessions of his sisters, of a victim under 5, of a babysitter, of family members, of his parents, of himself confessing to these molestation charges. Well, guess what? He never really got justice because what had happened, the statute of limitations in Arkansas had ran up. So what did his father and mom do? Oh, they sent him to a ministry. And nothing against ministries. Let me tell you, my faith is very important to me, but this is slapping your faith right in the face when you send him under the guise of God to go get healed instead of being locked up behind bars to save other victims. To your point, Erica, he is a monster and he deserves to be behind bars for the rest of his damn life. Wow, that got really...
I'm glad you guys are passionate. Speaking for all of us. It's a good thing.
Okay. All right, so there is some more dramatic video that was shown yesterday at another trial in Minnesota. Kim Potter has been charged with manslaughter and the shooting death of Daunte Wright back in April. We covered that story, you guys remember. The video shows the moments leading up to the shooting when Kim grabs her gun instead of her taser and then shows Daunte driving away after he was shot. The officer then collapsed on the ground shouting, "I shot him, oh my God." She's got her hands on her head and she's screaming and crying. Does this new video, Al, make any difference to you in regard to the loss of Daunte?
Absolutely not. You know, what did make a difference to me was the testimony of the officer that was with her. And he said he went against what she said, which we have not seen a lot of. There usually is a blue wall of silence, and not in this case. The officer said he was in my possession, like I was touching him when the bullet hit. So this young man was being contained for a reason that didn't look like it needed to be. But Sam, this is what happens when you have guns involved with nonsense traffic stops. We've seen certain legislations brought up saying that we're going to stop with these traffic stops. It would be nice if we could just do them without having to worry about people's lives at stake. But we have another young man that will never hug his mom again. A young man that looks just like my son, around the same size as my son, around the same size as the kids I used to teach. These young people are being killed for what? It was in the middle of the day. He wasn't doing anything. We're talking about paperwork, some kind of old tag. But this is what happens when you just start harassing your citizens, Jeff. This young man, you could have given him a ticket. You don't have to pull people over. When you can run the license plate, if it's old, send the ticket to his house.
That's what they're...
Why are you pulling people over and then drawing a firearm? What could he have done?
Listen, I don't want to take this out of context because I don't want to put this young man down or his family or any way. This is why, and again, this is going to be sensitive when I say this, I want to put money back into the police. People want to defund the police. I say that, let me explain, because I want training done, okay? I know fight, it doesn't even matter. If you watch a fight, okay, if you watch fighters, I'm a fan of the UFC, those guys are concussed, and they still know how to put people in moves. They still know what to do because their training takes over when they're in a violent situation. If you are trained, and you have to every year update that training and be retrained, when it comes to minor situations like traffic stops, you are not reaching for a taser or a gun. You are trained in what to do. And taking money out of the police department and not have money for these fundings, I think, my personal opinion, is a problem because we are not going to get the proper training that these police officers need.
But I think the scary thing is she completed training for her taser.
In March.
Yeah.
Weeks before.
Obviously,
training was not up to standard.
I think
because she made a mistake.
Yeah, I think we also are not
concussed, and they still know how to put people in moves. They still know what to do because their training takes over when they're in a violent situation. If you are trained and you have to every year update that training and be retrained, when it comes to minor situations like traffic stops, you are not reaching for a taser or a gun. You are trained in what to do. And taking money out of the police department and not have money for these fundings, I think, my personal opinion, is a problem because we are not going to get the proper training that these police officers need.
But I think the scary thing is she completed training for her taser.
In March.
Yeah.
Weeks before.
Obviously,
26 years.
Obviously, the training was not up to standard.
I think
because she made a mistake.
Yeah, I think we also are not having a conversation about how much of our tax dollars are actually already allocated to police departments. If you want to do a reallocation, which essentially is it's semantics here, we're talking about defund the police. That's semantics because we're talking about reallocating funds. You're talking about like if there is a police department and they have militarized, which is what the problem is. A lot of people feel that the issue is police are over militarized as opposed to protecting and serving. If you want to reallocate the funds within the police department for added training, that's one thing. I think when you said defund the police and then your point, it doesn't really jive because it's all reallocating funds, whether it's reallocating funds to go to other support systems or it's reallocating funds of how the police actually use the dollars that they have. My big thing is we see this video. Some people are going to feel a lot of sympathy towards this officer like it was a mistake. First of all, you don't get to make life and death protecting and serving. If you want to reallocate the funds within the police department for, you're talking about like if there's a police department and they have militarized, which is what the problem is. A lot of people, it's semantics here. We're talking about defund the
mistake.
Yeah, I think we also are not having a conversation about how much of our tax dollars are actually already allocated to police departments. If you want to do a reallocation, which essentially is it's semantics here, we're talking about defund the police. That's semantics because we're talking about reallocating funds. You're talking about like if there's a police department and they have militarized, which is what the problem is. A lot of people feel that the issue is police are over militarized as opposed to protecting and serving. If you want to reallocate the funds within the...
Hold on a second. City of Portland nonprofits prepare for what? MLS Cup Saturday? Why are the nonprofits preparing? Clean up before MLS Cup? Litter cleanup in the stadium district? Showcase Portland for what it is, a city that had a lot of trash and protests and homelessness during the pandemic. That's an ongoing issue that President Joe Biden.
And I'm about to get a briefing from my executive team, as I said. So thanks, and I'm going to get the meeting started.
Don't all yell at once. Hello? What the heck was that? Okay then.
Police department for added training. That's one thing. I think when you said defund the police and then your point, it doesn't really jive because it's all reallocating funds, whether it's reallocating funds to go to other support systems or it's reallocating funds of how the police actually use the dollars that they have. My big thing is we see this video. Some people are going to feel a lot of sympathy towards this officer like it was a mistake. First of all, you don't get to make life and death mistakes. And secondly, the video that really gets me is of Daunte Wright's mother. So if we're going to have a very emotional, this is moments after her son was shot. That's the emotion that I care about. I care about his mother, his family, all of those who see themselves in him. That's where my sympathy goes, not towards Kim Potter.
I just look at that and I'm like, why were there, what could have possibly happened where there were that many police officers there for this young man that had an expired tag? Like, what could have possibly been going on in a country awash in drugs, in a country awash in illegal opioids, in a country where sex predators just wander and have television shows that are on the air for decades?
Right.
Why did that situation require 4 officers when there's situations that require hundreds of officers and they get none?
Right.
I just don't understand. And happened where there were that many police officers there for this young man that had an expired tag. Like, what could have possibly been going on in a country awash in drugs, in a country awash in illegal opioids, in a country where sex predators just wander and have television shows that are on the air for decades?
Right.
Why did that situation require 4 officers when there's situations that require hundreds of officers and they get none?
Right.
I just don't understand. And for this woman to have felt as empowered enough that even though he was already under another officer's control, she needed to, best case scenario, hit him directly in the chest with a taser?
Right.
Which could also kill him? Like, what could somebody be doing where we needed this much containment for a 20-year-old kid that couldn't weigh 160 pounds? I just don't understand it, and I would like some explanation. And we never hear anything from the police. It's a tragedy, and we move on. But his family, his mother, will never move on from sitting on that tree lawn.
Thank you for showing that video. We'll be right back.
Closed captioning provided by...
It's so easy to sell on Poshmark. You just pick out your item, snap a couple of photos, and boom, it's up for sale. When I look at my old clothes now, I see dollar signs. Just this month, I made a couple $100 on Poshmark just selling items out of my closet.
Buy and sell from home with the Poshmark app.
We need a bigger place.
With our credit, besides we just doubled our square footage.
Credit Karma can show us how to improve it for free. Then we can find a place with a bigger right side up.
Huh, that's really cool.
Dad, press out again.
Credit Karma. Download the app today.
If you struggle with stubborn, diet-resistant fat on your body, the leading team of board-certified surgeons at Sono Bello are here to provide you with results you can see from the experts you can trust.
Wherever there's excess fat, we can remove it. That's what we do all day, every day. The stomach, hips, back, it could be the chin. We can do it all.
At Sono Bello, talking to the experts, they're so friendly, so knowledgeable. I couldn't have asked for anything more to get these kind of results.
The Sono Bello secret is Tri-Sculpt Micro Laser Liposuction that safely targets and removes your diet-resistant fat cells permanently.
Every team member at Sono Bello is dedicated to giving you that life-changing result that you've been dreaming about.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation now and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-800-698-8005 or go to sonobello.com.
Listen up, Operation Gutter Crush is about to start. Ready? Yes, sir! Clog their defenses.
LeafGuard gutters are the only one-piece seamless gutter system guaranteed to never clog. Call today for our end-of-the-year sale to save on labor. Defend your gutters from clogs forever with LeafGuard.
Retreat!
Call 1-833-LeafGuard today.
If I wanted
wanted to let you know who I am defending.
As long as it's not Richard Wheatley, we're good.
Well, isn't this awkward? Why are you defending the man who killed my wife? I'm being framed for a crime I didn't commit. This isn't a trial, it's a personal vendetta.
He tried to kill me.
Wheatley's not going down easy.
If you have something that you want to confess to me, I'll see you in court.
The Law and Order crossover event tonight on NBC.
Welcome back to DBL. So we're going to take a big turn here, okay, to a much lighter topic that is dividing the internet. Surprise, surprise. Some social media critics are taking aim at a certain Christmas movie, or actually multiple Christmas movies, suggesting they should be canceled. The New York Post came up with a list. Let's take a look. Let's see what you think. First up is It's a Wonderful Life.
Why?
Some people are saying Jimmy Stewart's character, George Bailey, was emotionally abusive, manipulative, and also misogynist. Others are calling it out for its lack of diversity.
I find that shocking. But isn't like the point if somebody is a misogynist and emotionally abusive to watch them grow throughout the movie and learn a lesson? I think if you said that about any character, you would say all those things and then say this pivotal moment of the movie happened, and then they're a better person for it.
I don't know if it always ends up that way, Al.
No?
No.
That's the whole point.
No, it's not the whole point, because you have to consider what year was this movie made. 47. And that was very normalized.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we look at it through 2021 lenses, and we're like, what were y'all thinking? But we can say that about just about everything.
And I would question anybody that's watching movies from the late 40s looking for diversity. I think that's more on you than the movie.
Next up is The Holiday. People are taking aim at both male leads for their toxic masculinity. First, they say Jude Law's character is a womanizer who hurts women just by being himself. Then they say Jack Black's character makes moves on an emotionally vulnerable Kate Winslet and is basically Jeff, a sociopath.
I love this movie.
Do you really? I've never seen it, yeah.
You edit from my last clip, put that at the end. Listen, we have many more examples.
Yeah.
This is poking fun at like woke culture. They're going overboard to make it seem a little bit crazy.
I agree.
Poking fun.
What are you looking at?
I'm not. Well, I don't want to interrupt her. Well, no, I take issue with this one, actually, because there's a lot of assumptions being made about Kate Winslet's character being emotionally vulnerable and that she was taken advantage of. She was going through a tough time. Sometimes you get your groove back in different ways, and Jack Black just happened to be there. She could have been having a very empowering moment. I think that was misogynist.
See?
Okay. And then I'll save my comment for the end. Next up is The Santa Claus. Critics are slamming it for being fat-phobic and containing several fat jokes which don't hold up in today's world.
I'm here for it.
Okay, so
I'm
you
here.
like the fat jokes.
I don't. I'm here for the fact that he set a great example. That he went under, he had a medical issue. He gained a lot of weight. He went to his doctor, which is what you would want anybody that you care about to do. If somebody gained 50 pounds out of nowhere, you'd be like, hey, bro, go talk to somebody about that. He did it. I think he showed everybody the way to go.
Okay, we're going to do one more, and then let's discuss if they should be canceled. Finally, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad, their Christmas classic, Jingle All the Way. Critics are slamming this movie for its relentless focus on consumerism. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Jeff, should this be canceled? I already know your answer, but let's hear it.
Okay, again, to my point, they're poking fun in my mind.
Okay.
But here's the problem. People have no discernment. They think this is real, and people right now are on Twitter saying, Jingle All the Way needs to be canceled. You're right, Bob, it does. And they're like forming their little groups on social media, and it's serious business, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're really trying to get their name out there and pretending all this stuff, consumerism.
Yeah, I agree that it's ridiculous. I don't think anything should be canceled, but I know some of the movies can be seen problematically. And I know in the past when we've talked about Disney movies being overtly racist or prejudiced or anti-Semitic, there's a disclaimer. Do you think it's important on some of those scenes to have disclaimers?
I think that people watching understand. I mean, with Home Alone, I think people know they can't set up
What if you're 13?
movie trap.
A booby trap's a lot different than perhaps making fun of a marginalized group
But
of people.
that's discernment.
A 13-year-old might not have that discernment.
You'd be surprised.
Okay. All right, coming up on DBL, our hilarious interview with Kyle Richards and Betsy Grant. The two have teamed up for a new movie, and we have your first look.
This holiday, grow the adventure in your own galaxy with the Child Chia Pet. Now in 3 adorable Grogu-inspired styles. In a hover pram, snuggled safely in the Mandalorian satchel, or in protective force pose. Just soak your chia, spread the seeds, water, and watch it grow. Collect all 3 Chia Pets, the gift that grows. At Walgreens, Rite Aid, Lowe's, and Walmart. Makes a great gift.
Ken French World-Class Clapper. 721 claps a minute. With the clapper, I only need 2 claps.
Clap on, clap off.
And now, from The Mandalorian, the Child's Clapper with Nightlight. Clap 2 times to turn your lamp on and off. Clap 3 times to turn on the nightlight. And hear the Mandalorian say,
The kid's coming with me.
Clap on, clap off. Clap.
At participating Walgreens, Ace, True Value, and Walmart.com. Makes a great gift.
when Chef Tony Baker is in the kitchen, he never gets burned.
Thanks to my Elk Glove hot surface handler with non-slip silicone grips.
The Elk
Okay,
Glove
who's
protects from
on?
heat up to 540 degrees.
And it's flame resistant. It really helps me hang on to slippery
I'm gonna
dishes.
turn this
I
off.
use it with hot dinner plates, even ceramic bakeware. In my kitchen, I always make sure it's the Elk Glove.
Get the Elk Glove at Target, Ace, True Value, and Amazon. Makes a great gift.
In the last year, there was a victim of identity theft every 3 seconds. Could it happen to you?
Somebody used my identification and they had actually purchased the car and drove it off the lot. I didn't know what to do, but thankfully I had LifeLock.
LifeLock alerts you to identity threats, and if there's a problem, we work to fix it.
LifeLock provides the type of protection I need.
Help protect what's yours with LifeLock Identity Theft Protection. Call right now.
Hey, it's always a good thing when the stars of our favorite shows, Real Housewives and Breaking Bad, come together to make a Christmas movie. Earlier, we sat down with Kyle Richards and Betsy Brandt to talk all things you want to know. Check it out.
Was she laughing, coughing to make fun of them, or really coughing?
And if there's a problem, we work to fix it.
LifeLock provides the type of protection I need.
Help protect what's yours with LifeLock Identity Theft Protection. Call right now.
Hey, it's always a good thing when the stars of our favorite shows, Real Housewives and Breaking Bad, come together to make a Christmas movie. Earlier, we sat down with Kyle Richards and Betsy Brandt to talk all things you want to know. Check it out.
LifeLock Identity Theft Protection. Call right now.
Hey, it's always a good thing when the stars of our favorite shows, Real Housewives and Breaking Bad, come together to make a Christmas movie. Earlier, we sat down with Kyle Richards